All right, what's good, Boxing World? This is Zeb, your host of On the Ropes. Today, my special guest is Coach, Father, everything to Sierra Martinez, Coach Simon Martinez. What's good?
Yeah, glad to have you. Glad to be on your show, man. It's a pleasure.
Man, great having you on, man. You know, Sierra just graduated. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Um, she's part of the Army WCAP program.
Yes, the World Class Athlete Program, WCAP program. That's correct.
Could you explain that for everyone who might not know about the Army WCAP program?
So the Army has a unit. It's called the World Class Athlete Program, and they recruit boxers to fight exclusively for the U.S. Army boxing team, and they stress education. They have to be enrolled in college. They also have to be have a good record, and they have to be, in order to qualify for the program, you have to be a multi national champion.
You know, speaking on that, Coach, Sierra, multi-time national champion, Under Armour Boxer of the Year,
Yeah.
multiple titles with USA Boxing. How
Right.
did that? How did it all come about to actually get this exciting offer with Army WCAP?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Thanks to the good relationships that I've made in boxing with Terry Green, who is the coach for the Air Force boxing team. Also with Ariana Carrasco's father, Renee. Uh, she was invited to New Mexico to a training camp with Renee. At that point, they went to Triple Threat Gym to spar up there, and she was able to spar Amelia Moore, who's the current number one girl at 125, and also she got to spar with Michaela Mayer, and she came under the watchful eye of Coach Alev, and they were evaluating Sierra, in regards to the program, and they made her an offer that was discussed with me, and it was an offer that I just could not resist at that time, sir.
You know, it's very interesting that we're speaking about this because it also gives options to young women that they don't have to go the professional route in boxing. That there are other offers and other opportunities that are out there. So,
Okay,
what was the
okay.
deciding factor for you? Because you know, with Sierra being who she is, highly decorated amateur boxer. Um, I'm quite sure you know with different promotional companies out there right now, like with the Zone and different companies, that they were really looking at her. So, with that being said, why go the route that you're going at this time?
Okay, so Sierra, unlike other boxers, she's got a lot of international experience. As you well know, she won the gold medal for Team USA in Poland. She fought four straight fights against tough opposition, and she got the gold medal. She also got the gold medal in Canada in the provincial tournament that was in Edmonton, Canada, and she also fought in Ireland, and she won a medal there as well. So she's well traveled, and of course, we got a lot of offers, from different promotional teams. I'm not gonna mention them because I won't disrespect them. I turned down their offers in regards to money because Sierra at that time was 17 years old, Zeb, and she still had not graduated from high school. And I also stress books before hooks, and I wanted Sierra to have a life beyond boxing. So I decided to not turn her pro at that time, and I knew that in the long run, something else better would come, and it did.
You know, Coach, I want to go back to you remember the Pigskin Awards a couple of years ago here in DC?
I remember the Pigskin Awards. She was nominated for Boxer of the Year with Jamal Harvey and Keyshawn, and I remember you being at that dinner with us with Jackie Atkins, and it was a very that was the Washington Redskins Foundation, and they gave awards to football players and boxing, and it was a great honor, and it was a great honor just to be there with all those people, and I'm just glad that you were there with us.
You know, Coach, on that night, I had a chance to interview Sierra. And one of the things that she had talked about was possibly getting into law enforcement. I bring that up because part of the Army WCAP program, she'll have the opportunity to go to college. With that being said, Coach, has she decided on what she wants to study when she takes the opportunity to go to college?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because yeah, see, her MOS right now that she locked into is one of the fastest routes in regards to getting her on the world class athlete program. It's 15-week program, so it's advanced logistics. But she's gonna be taking up law enforcement in college, and from the last that I talked to her, one of her goals is to be an FBI agent.
Very interesting. That because it's interesting, Coach, because that's what my youngest wants to get into with the law enforcement. She wants to get into the hostage negotiation, crisis negotiation.
Yeah, Sierra wants to. She has a burden for girls that have been human trafficked, and human trafficking is really, it's unfortunately in Texas. There's a lot of it because of Mexico being so close. So that's her goal, to be able to work and to probably recover some of those girls that have been human trafficked for prostitution and things of that. So it's a real dangerous profession. But if that's what Sierra wants to do, I'll say she has room for that because we still haven't put she's gonna. Her goal is to be in the Olympics. And Coach Lev is gonna make sure that she's on the right path for that. She's already qualified for the qualifiers. This last qualifier in Ohio, her and Lupe Gutierrez. So they're on path to, right now. She wants to, like I knew what I did in regards to signing the papers with her, and now she belongs to the United States Army in regards to where she's gonna go from here in boxing.
Speaking on that, Coach, what is your thoughts on what's going on with the USA boxing? I think I saw something that boxing won't be involved in the 2028 Olympics. Is that true?
That's a distinct reality. I don't think it's concrete. I don't think they've made a final decision on that, but because of the widespread corruption that is existent in AIBA at that point, with Rio de Janeiro and Brazil and everything. Because of those inequities, now they might suffer in 2028, but it's not hard and fast yet. But the thing is that we're focused on 2024, and our expectations is that Sierra is going to be a front runner for the 2024 Olympics with Jamal Harvey.
What's the process like of getting the team together for USA boxing as far as the route to the Olympics?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked that question because a lot of people don't know the ins and outs, the politics of what it is to place somebody on the team. In order to place someone on the team, they could have qualified in the qualifiers, but if they don't have enough points, elite points, they will not pass go. So our goal, as you well know, is that I've spent over $100,000, man, in the last 8 years, taking Sierra to different countries, to different nationals, different qualifiers, in order to have to be a seven-time national champion. And it's been a big sacrifice on my family. We've had to do without certain things, vacations and everything, fancy cars and everything. And now the United States Army takes control of that, and they fund her 100%. And now she's able to fight in U.S. Armed Forces tournaments, where she can pick up those points that she needs to be able to qualify for the team.
It's such a great thing also as well, Coach, that being a part of that, she'll have benefits for life.
Um, Benefits for life. You're correct. Her college education will be fully funded. Her plans are to go to Colorado State University and do virtual studies. I want her to graduate from college. That's the end game. She has a guaranteed monthly income, which is good. She has medical benefits with the United States Army. Myself and her sister Genesis will also be relocating to Colorado, and we hope to buy a home up there and be there for the duration of her 3.5 years in the Army.
Coach, I wanted to ask, first of all, how competitive is it to get into the program, number one? And number two, how many women are part of the boxing WCAP?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked that question. one of my best friends, and he's a friend, a real loyal friend, is Renee Carrasco, and he's been able to guide me, with bits and points because he lives in New Mexico, and people think that I get a lot from people. Hey, WCAP asked me to be on the team, but I didn't want to put her on the team, and I'm not saying that that's not entirely true, but you have to qualify for that team. You have to be evaluated. You don't pick WCAP. WCAP picks you. They have a criteria. That's a lot of funding. That's a lot of money they're putting out for these athletes. So the thing is that they really have to recruit you, and they really have to send you letters and invite you to an evaluation. And you're under the close eye of Coach Lev and Chris Downs, and they run an excellent program. You asked about who's on the team. Naomi Graham, as you well know, she was in the Olympics. She's on the team, currently on the team.
I was going to ask you about her. Yep, I was going to ask you about her.
Yeah, she's a multinational champion. She's on the team. Lupe Gutierrez, who by right was the Olympic candidate for the last Olympics, but through the nuances of USA Boxing, she was not picked for that team, and it was Andrew Medina, and then it was someone else. So again, it's the points system, that holds a lot of these people back. But she is currently now enrolled in WCAP along with Sierra, and I expect her to be sparring with Sierra and training with her. And also Ariana Carrasco is also with WCAP, as well as a couple of other young standouts that their names don't come to mind right now. But yeah, they have recruited what I consider, and Terry Green, to be a very formidable challenge, to the Olympic trials when they happen. And we're looking forward for them compete in December and gain their rightful berth, in USA Boxing.
Just thinking about that, Coach. Um, what you see right now, like you said, with the different changes that they want to make with the USA Boxing, how can they change that to get away from the norm of what they say with the corruption and everything else of that nature? What are some of the things, steps they can do to change that?
Well, I'm not going to say they have a good old boy network, but there's, a lot of people that need to retire from boxing in regards to, the way things are. We're moving towards a more modern, 21st century approach to boxing, and it's not who you know, it's what you know. So if somebody really earns their spot there, they really have to conform with rules and regulations and what Billy Walsh has determined to be the qualifying merits of being on the team. So there's a lot of room for improvement, but Mike Campbell, director of operations, is by far one of the best, architects of that. And I have full faith in Mike Campbell and Mike McAtee, and also Billy Walsh and Matt Johnson and Liz Podomric and Matt Radel, all these guys, Chad Wiggle. It's a good crew, and I know every single one of them, and they're very qualified in what they do.
Now, Coach, with Sierra graduation, when does she head out for boot camp?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. She is now currently in boot camp. She's in Fort Jackson. She sent me they took away her phone. She sent me a quick call, and she's totally into the boot camp process right now, and that will be encompassing basic training, and then she will be going to AIT, and that will be in Virginia.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
I'm
Now,
also I'm formally inviting you to the graduation. Upon completion, uh, you know, uh, Daryl Davis is supposed to be coming down there with Jamal Harvey. My family's coming down there. We're inviting you. We're inviting Mike Campbell, and also Jairo Gonzalez has expressed uh, coming because, as you all know, Jairo Gonzalez was a WCAP alumni. And she's also going. She's on the team. So we're in good company. We'd love to have you up there, sir.
truly, thank you for that opportunity, man. I definitely will. I gotta ask you, Coach, man. with this for you, how hard is this for you, coach, to send your daughter off the boot camp? Because like you said, it's been you and her, and with the many sacrifices that you made, going from Rhode Island to Texas, and now from Texas soon to Colorado.
It's been a long thing from New York to Providence, from Providence to Texas, and now to Colorado. I can tell you this, that I was on, a lot of a lot of coaches, a lot of fathers. They live their life through the eyes of the athlete, which is totally wrong. Um, I unfortunately, boxing is not my life, and I wanted Sierra to have a good career beyond boxing. Um, I had tendered offers from a couple of entities, in regards to Sierra turning pro. I reviewed them. I talked with Jackie Atkins, and we determined that that was not proper at that time, being that Sierra was so young as an athlete. I then had an interesting conversation with a good friend and protege of ours, not protege, but a partner of ours, which is Bernard Hackett, Jahil's father. And we had a long conversation, and he told me, Simon, Sierra doesn't have to turn pro. She says Sierra's very young. Sierra has a lot of opportunities. She's very marketable. And I agreed. And when I told him about the WCAP opportunity, he said, Simon, jump on it. It's the best option available right now for female athletes. Why? Because female athletes right now, for lack of a better word, it's like a sideshow with them. You know, they give them extra money, man, and wear bikinis and weigh-ins. They cherry pick their fights, man, and build them up. There's nobody in those brackets. They're not getting the money that the male athletes get. So, with the exception of Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, McCaskill, and those other fighters, it's like hit or miss. If you have a bad showing, they put you on the bench, and your amateur career is gone, and your pro career, you have to start thinking about a second career. So for females, boxing is not up to form for them at this time. It has a lot of opportunity, a lot of future, but this is the best route that I picked for my daughter.
Coach, with the route that you have chosen, do you think this will open up doors or opportunities for other fathers to start thinking about that also as well? Just thinking about like you said, with the disparity of the pay when it comes to women's boxing as compared to men, and also as far few in between that you'll make it as a professional boxer as a woman.
Interesting concept, and it's a great question. That's why you're such a good interviewer, Zeb. Uh, I'm going to explain that to you, and try to answer that to the best of my ability. Sierra, because she's going to be in the WCAP program, Sierra's going to be fighting with headgear for the entire career in the military. Uh, Boys, when they become elite athletes, they fight without headgear. Sierra will always fight with headgear. Clarissa Shields fought with headgear. Naomi Graham's fighting with headgear. That saves the wear and tear on their neurological abilities. A lot of these athletes suffer from PCE, and everything like that. So I'm thinking at the end game, having my daughter check out of this game and be able to have sound mind and body. And I think that in the long run, she will see that she has a life beyond boxing.
Now I have to ask this question, Coach. Any concerns for you? Because as you know, we're in like considered wartime. With the things that you see with Russia and the Ukraine. Was that any concerns for you that she would be thrown into that type of situation, or is it because she's part of that program that something like that would not happen?
Another good question. So part of the contract in signing it, we had to call a 1-800 number, talk to people to guarantee this contract, and she has a non-deployable status. So she has to continue fighting for USA Boxing throughout her whole term, and no, she will not be deployed in case of war.
And I think also, is it true, Coach? Also being enrolled as part of the college program that advances her to like the officers type program. Is that true or not true?
That's correct. That's the route she wants to take. She can take that right now with the things, the options that were made available for her. she has a lot of opportunities for advancement. And yeah, being an officer is not a far-fetched thing if that's what she wants to do. Again, my daughter is 18 years old. Uh, I love her dearly. You asked me if I missed her. I missed her just as much as Renee missed Ariana when she went there. She just came back from AIT. It's leaving the nest syndrome. You miss them, but you know that in the long run, the benefits and the risk, the rewards are better than the risks. So I think that this is just something to prepare her for the future. And you have daughters, Zeb. So at one time or another, they might want to live on campus. They may need to travel, and you also will be going through that leaving the nest syndrome.
Now, Coach, like you was speaking with me earlier about the move to Colorado, right?
Hmm.
Now, with the move to Colorado, how excited is that for you? Looking at new opportunities for yourself.
Well, I've been blessed here in Texas, man. I live in an amazing duplex here, with a fitness center, swimming pool, movie room, and everything. I don't get me wrong. I love Texas. I love being part of the Reyes boxing gym with Paul Reyes and Vince. They treated us with nothing but respect, and there was no mishaps, no problems, no nothing here. We would really miss Texas, but we look forward to going to Colorado. We're gonna get the four seasons up there. We're gonna get the snow. We're gonna be in the mountains, and due to the gym that we're gonna be working at, a triple threat with Bud Crawford, it's gonna be a really interesting time up there, and we're really looking forward to it.
Speaking of Terrence Bud Crawford, talk about the relationship uh, between him and Sierra, and
Hmm.
almost like a big brother type deal.
Well, it was funny, man, because when she went up there to the gym, she didn't really know anybody, only Renee and Terry. And then, Coach Lev and Terrence were able to work her corner, and she developed a relationship with him. She knew him from Madison Square Garden. We went to the Telfimo fights. They talked boxing there, and they stood in touch with her and Shakur and everything like that. But she went up there. He lent her G truck. He drove around Terrence's G truck. Uh, he likes the way she spars. He loves her energy. So we love Terrence Crawford and that whole gym, and we wish them the best of luck, in the future. Especially, we're from Texas, so we've been to Errol Spence's gym with Derrick James, and we wish the best luck for both of them. As to picking somebody, I wouldn't want to pick anybody at this particular time. I just could tell you that they're both magnificent athletes.
The same thing Coach Calvin said. Same thing Coach Calvin said. I was gonna put him on the spot about it. He said, "Man, I don't want to pick it. I like both."
They're both good at where they have energy. Errol Spence has a pressure, and I was ringside when he fought Ugas, and I can tell you right now that his comeback from that round that his mouthpiece came out was epic. I've never seen more courage in any fighter than Errol in that fight. Uh, me and well, one of my best friends, Daryl Davis, we talk on a daily. He calls me every day. I call him, and we talk about family. We don't even talk about boxing. But he said, "Hey Simon, you're from Texas, so you're like caught in the middle with Crawford because he trains in your daughter in the gym. Your daughter's going to train, and Errol Spence." I said, "Well, it's not about picking a favorite. They're both good boxers. It's not being political. No one knows what's going to happen in that fight. The first one that gets buzzed first, that's the one. The other fighter will have the advantage. So it's to see who gets through, who cracks that shell first."
In your opinion, Coach, do you think that fight will happen this year?
No, I don't think it will happen this year because of the logistics. Crawford doesn't want to fight in Texas. Uh, Errol Spence still is recovering from an eye injury. Uh, there's a lot of fights that they can have in the meantime and make millions of dollars. And I think that they're gonna have to maneuver each other, to see that they get 50-50 because Spence has the belts. Crawford has a couple of belts, but you know, you know, let's not make a mistake. Crawford is probably the best pound for pound fighter in boxing right now, and this will be a tremendous fight. So the negotiations are going to be fervent. They're going to be fierce, and I like to see the fight happen around September, December, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I think one of the things I think they was reporting with Earl that if he doesn't get that fight, then he's going to move up to the 154.
Correct, and I think that would be better served for him because I think that he would have an easier time with Charlo than he would with Crawford.
See, that's an interesting situation because if he moves up to the 154, then that puts Derek James and uh, he has to make a decision between
Right.
the two fighters.
Look, as you well know, Jamal Harvey stood with me for a couple of weeks. It was just a grand time. It was like having my son in my house, and I took him to spar in different places. One of the places I took him was world famous gym, and he sparred with Frank Martin. He's a top 5 fighter, and it was great sparring. And I got to see Derek James and that hot, sweaty gym and how they train. They train like Trojans in there, like Spartans, and you know, you can't beat world famous gym. They really train up there, man. So it's about this is about levels, coach. And let's not make no mistake. Charles from Texas, Spencer's from Texas. Shakur's in Houston. Texas is the place to be, man, when you want to train. As well as Colorado. So there's a lot of good fighters here.
Oh, definitely. I definitely say that, Coach. Sorry about that. Coach, I got to ask, though, just going back to just looking back over the time in the years in the amateurs, man, what's some of the things that you're going to miss as a dad and a coach?
Oh man, I've had a lot of memories, in regards to the Nationals. A lot of competition, a lot of envious, hateful coaches and people, and we're not going to dwell on the negative part of it. I won't miss that, but I'll miss being there with uh, Darryl Davis, him being in my corner with me, fighting people like Faith Mendez, who was on Team USA, defeating her twice, defeating China twice, defeating all people that they said we couldn't beat, and Jamal beating people, Dorian Khan beating Barrientos. It's been, listen, I'm without words. Being there screaming, having Oxen Hill screaming at the top of their lungs, 50 raving maniacs screaming Sierra's name. I will miss that. I really will.
You made me think about something, Coach. Going back to the ring ceremony, that iconic picture. That I can't wait to see what it's going to be like. Maybe 10 years down the line, that picture that
Oh,
Sierra, Jamal,
Sean,
Keyshawn, and myself took. I can't wait to see how that it come.
we're gonna
How that.
No, Keyshawn's gonna sign it for you. Jamal's gonna sign it for you, and so is Sierra. We're one big family, and that ring, stays on the shelf. For Boxer of the Year. People don't realize. Let's say those words slowly. Boxer of the Year. That means Sierra was the best boxer in that division out of every female athlete in USA boxing. It's a great honor. She got it at a young age, at 16 years old, 17 years old, and again, she's only 18 years old. So the best is yet to come.
Now, Coach, do you see yourself uh, coaching again in the amateurs, picking up another athlete and maybe trying to do it again?
I'm gonna think about that one, Coach. I plan to help Coach Lev with the PAL in the thing. That's a situation that is prevalent. I may be able to do that, but it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot out of myself. I've given a lot of my time to boxing with my two sons, with myself competing with Sierra, and I in reply to your question, it's a very good possibility, but I need some time off, Coach. It took a lot of energy to be able to get Sierra to where she's at, and now I am so glad to hand over the reins to the USA Army World Class Athlete Program. I tip my hat to them. I salute them, and I'll be there to help them out in any way I can. But I'll be taking a back seat until time that I go to Colorado. Then I'll go back in again. But it just takes a lot of energy, Coach.
Speaking on that, Coach, once you get out to Colorado, have you decided or have you ever thought about, becoming a part of that USA coaching staff? Is
Uh,
that is
I,
that even a possibility?
I talk to Mike Campbell all the time, and he offered me a job working with security, for national tournaments. I see myself doing that, helping him out with crowd control and things like that. But coaching, coach, you don't know how frustrating it is to coach someone and for them not to conform to your way of training, for them to be able to be there every day, to get to surrender to the sport. It's hard to find an athlete like that. I've gone my ups and downs with Sierra. She's being a father and a coach is two different things, but it just takes a lot of energy. Right now, I'm enjoying my retirement. I'm retired right now. I get that check from the army, and I'm able to pursue other things, do security jobs, and concentrate on my other daughter, Genesis. So she wants to be a veterinarian. She's a nail technician. So there's a lot of facets to family life. But I want to be crystal clear and say this closely. Daryl's gonna laugh. Canelo says boxing is his life. Boxing is not my life.
It'll be hard to say that it's not, coach, as much time as and that you put in and all the hours that you put in. That's why I'm laughing.
I'm a fan, coach. I'm a coach, but I'm a tough coach, and I'm a perfectionist. And it's hard to find people that can conform to that perfectionist level. This is about levels, coach. You know what I mean? And if you can't level up, you had these interviews with Calvin, and you see all the pitfalls that he has gone through. We all as coaches go through that, but there's always someone behind you. There's a hater, and there's an envious person behind every shadow. And it's my favorite saying. Everybody's the op.
Oh wow. Let me ask you, coach, man, in your journey with your family and Sierra and all the things that you've been doing, is there anything that you would change along the journey?
Yes, I would change the uh the the attitude prevalent in my performance. I was very aggressive. I was very controversial in regards to decisions that Sierra got. I played too much into the egos of the referees and the judges. I've had judges actually told me, listen, because of your attitude, you cost your daughter a decision. Wow. That meant they didn't judge her on the merits of her fight. They judged her on the merits of my comportment and my behavior in the corner, which is totally not right. So, yeah, I've had a few regrets in boxing. I've seen a lot of things, but then I also see coaches that they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Snapchat, looking at the camera, profiling, their fighters to the point that you haven't really achieved anything, as a coach, and your boxers are superficial. They're still in their young stages. You know, I tell all these people, man, that are in the kiddie brackets. I'm talking about juniors, youth. Wait till you get to elite. That's where you level up, and that's where the proof comes out in the pudding. And that's why I'm saying all these people that are turning their kids pro in teenagers, it's ludicrous. It's just mind-boggling that they would do something like that and just ruin the kid's career. Once he loses and he gets a draw or a loss, now you're looking for a second career, working at Walmart or pumping gas. So, do I regret any decisions that I've made in regards to my daughter? Absolutely not. Again, education first, boxing second.
No, that's a great point that you made, coach, about the young fighters that are going pro, and then once they get that first loss, they pretty much at the back of the bus, and you pretty much don't hear from them unless they really can crawl their way back out to get noticed again. So you definitely see that a lot right now in the sport of boxing.
You do. And it's unfortunate because people, they suffer from their delusions. They see their fighter, they get their fighter on an article. They blow up that magazine article. Yo, profile my fighter. They get so tired of hearing them, they'll put them in ESPN or Sports Illustrated or something like that. And then the fighter doesn't level up, and you look like ass. You look like somebody that just cherry picked all your fights. there's coaches that look through the brackets. Oh, let me look. Oh, he's too tough. Let's bring him down to 119. Or he's too tough. Let's bring him up 125. That's why I admire Daryl, and he in turn, you know, we're like kindred spirits because we don't cherry pick nobody. You're the best, we go right at you. The best have to fight the best. And if you want to cherry pick your way, turn your kid pro, and then go to Mexico and get 6 fights and turn them 6-0 and hope to cash out, that's very superficial. There's more to boxing than just cherry picking fights.
100% agree on that, Coach. I got to say, Coach, man, I truly, truly appreciate your time this morning. Definitely not the last interview because we got to do different updates with Sierra along the way. So I'm definitely looking forward to our future conversations, Coach.
I'm getting a lot of calls, multiple calls from everywhere, wanting to know how to get in touch with Sierra. And I want to take this opportunity. If you could type that into your thing when you do the narrative, it's private Sierra Martinez, Echo Company, 213th Infantry Regiment. The address is 4380 Mac Ruder, Magruder Avenue, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, zip code 29207-6809. And that'll be her mailing address for boot camp. Anybody wants to drop her a line, you could. And you had mentioned you were going to send her a care package. She'll probably lose her
Oh, definitely, definitely.
probably lose their mind getting that. But again, that's it. You could, when you play this back and you edit it, you can put that into the narrative. And she's looking forward to. She's kind of lonely up there. She's doing what she has to do to compete in this program, and we look forward to a long on the ropes is going to be with us for life. We started from the bottom. Now we're here. You're a day one guy, and we appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate that, Coach. Appreciate it.
God bless.
Oh, before
Yes.
we get off,
All right.
remember we were talking about this, Coach, because we got to get him on with Bernard Hackett.
Mm.
With the advice he was giving you about that. You were speaking on that earlier. That was how big was that? Having that conversation with him.
Pivotal. I was on the fence. I had 2 offers. I don't want to mention they were huge. They signed some elite athletes. They a great stipend, a good stipend for Sierra. At the time we had just transitioned, I really needed the money. Having 50,000, 100,000 in our pocket and having Sierra be able to move around was very uh, interesting to us. And but these are his exact words. Hackett says, Simon, Sierra very marketable. She doesn't need to ever do something like that. Entertain the contract you have before her, think about her future, and do not have her turn pro at this particular time. And he said, "There's no money in women's boxing. It's a sideshow, and you know, uh, that the money is not up to par as the male. And until that happens, no, Sierra's friend, in boxing, much success in the future. Again, I'm saying, uh, Daryl Davis, I love you, and Deborah, part of
Hello, Coach.
yeah,
I'm gonna bring you out and bring you back in because you were breaking up. Yeah, I want you to repeat that.
okay. I
All right.
in regards to Bernard Hackett, I want to personally thank him for his sound advice. I have to bow to his experience with Jahil and how he worked everything out with his success and being on the undercard of the Tank Davis fight. He's done really really good. So I took his advice, very seriously, and that's why Sierra is where she is right now. Uh, I want to thank the Oxon Hill family with Darryl Davis, Jamal, and everybody there, and they're part of my family. And you, Zeb Brooks, you are part of our publicity machine. And I would have to look really hard beyond 3 rounds and everybody else to find a better sports fan page than yours.
I truly, truly appreciate it, Coach. And thank you for your time on the ropes today.
No, thank you, sir. And big shout out to Tank Davis and Calvin Ford. You guys are all the way up. Maryland, Baltimore, stand up, and we just look forward to the future. Sierra's my daughter, but she belongs to the United States government right now in USA Boxing. So let's see what happens in December.
All right, Coach. We definitely will check back with you and get updates on that.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless, Coach.
All right.